one of my ayahuasca experiences, was it the first one? Yes, it was the first one. And so I had no idea really what to expect. And I took the ayahuasca and then I sat there and I was like, I don't really feel anything. And then I took a little bit more and then it started to hit me. And my husband was doing the experience with me, and he has been with me where when I've taken too much mushrooms or too many mushrooms and and so he has this natural, like, let me make sure she's okay before I allow myself to like receive it all. And so we were in that state and I started crying for some reason. One of the first experiences I had was feeling like a presence of my dad. And so I start crying, but I'm like barely teetering. I'm going in, but I'm kind of still attached to reality. And it's because he keeps putting his hand on me or being like, you're okay. You're in a room full of people. You took drugs. There was one time when we took mushrooms and I kept saying like, what is happening? And he'd be like, it's okay. You took mushrooms. And I'd be like, oh, okay. And so he was
Who
in
did
this
this to me?
and the shaman had already coached us, like, be in your individual world. Like, you'll take people out of it if you try to interact. But he was worried about me. And so he was kind of in that mindset. And so finally, like, I was like, in my higher self, and it's like, how do I say this while appreciating his love of caring for me and also letting him release and have his own experience. And so finally I just like put my hand on him and was like, it's okay, you're off duty. And we both just start cracking up, and then we went deeper into it. But at first I couldn't figure out how to like get this across until I said, you're off duty. And I kept just saying, I'll see you on the other side. I'll see you on the other side. Because I felt like I was going to the other side and then being pulled back out. And I was so sure that that was what was real. The other side was what was real, that I was like, oh, this is the illusion. And so just meet me on the other side. And I thought we were going to have the same experience. And then afterwards realized we both had very different experiences, but it felt so real that that was just another dimension that we could just meet on.
Although I've done that too, where it's like, I've been across the room from somebody and I'm like, hey, let's meet up in the middle of the ceremony, like on the astral plane. And then it's like, you meet them, and this happens to me a lot. Like I see them as their spirit animal or one of their spirit animals. And I'm like, are you that? Yeah, you are. And then it's like, I have a little bit of trouble, like, cause you're like a fox now, but I know who it is because it's the same feeling when it's like next to you. This one time, the person was a beginner, was sitting next to me, and she went and she had a freak out because it was her first time, but she was still sitting there. So she was there as a fox the whole time sitting next to me, but like her 3D self, her body was away, like having a freak out, like, I don't know what's happening. And then she came back and I was like, did you know you were here the whole time? And she was like, what are you talking about?
That's so funny. Yeah, my second ayahuasca experience, I remember going into the kitchen afterwards because we all kind of bring nourishing food and share it afterwards and talk about our experience. So it was after the experience, I had kind of come out of it, a little loopy, but the first part of it, I was like underground. And it was interesting because first it was like this little munchkin kind of elf guy was preparing me, and he was like whispering to the other elves like, we're just getting you ready for this experience. I'm like, oh my god. And so then all of a sudden I descended below, almost like there was like a circle beneath me, and it just like lowered, like how they release people into a concert from the ceiling or something like that. And I'm just like being descended down, and then there's all these tubes, and it reminded me of Mario Brothers, and I was kind of trying to go through them, but I was watching these little almost gopher creatures, but they were more than that. They were like personified going through these tubes. And when I got to the kitchen after this, and I almost forgot about that, because after the underground part, then it seemed to like lift me into the light, and I was in this white space. And then I went into this kind of cave world. It was weird. There were so many levels of that experience, but then everyone started saying like they had done it a lot more than I had. And they're like, oh, did you see the underground people? And they're like, yeah. And they just start explaining exactly what I had seen, these little guys going through tubes. And And she's like, yeah, I saw you down there. And I was like, what? And I didn't know these people. So I didn't even know to look for them. But she's like, yeah, you were right across the other side of the tube and just going on. And I thought that was amazing, but I wasn't not yet at that level to have that amount of awareness. I was just taking it all in like, whoa, what is this new experience?
Hey friend, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this particular clip, then I have something else I want to tell you about, which is the League of Superconductors. It's a business mastermind that I run to elevate the greatest change makers of our time. That is people that I like to call quantum entrepreneurs, metaphysical, spiritual teachers, healers, coaches, light workers of different types. And this is a year-long business mastermind starting in May of 2022. So if that's the type of thing that you're looking for, if you're looking to better fuel your mission by having a business that brings in all the abundance you're looking for, that both operates at the 3D level, serving the people of Earth, and at a multi-dimensional level, bringing in all of the higher wisdom and experience that you have access to, that's what we're doing. So if that sounds like something for you, then you can check out the link below, read a little bit more about the program, what we do each month. And I also invite you to apply for a call with me, a strategy session. We can get to know each other. I'll coach you a little bit, and you can decide if that might be the exact thing that you've been looking for. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.